Go.
Alright, yeah, basically this is our title, this is what we're thinking of calling it. I think we've decided on calling it Detatch, or Detached, or like some variant of that word. We wanted to like avoid kind of like a really cheesy or like cliche title, so like with Wanderlust we had, but because that was like kind of, we like that because it really moved in with our story well. And we looked at the definition for the word, and it pretty much just summed up our story. But I don't know, we just kind of decided not to go with that. Went with Detach, and I think that's a lot better really. Like, it doesn't necessarily give away what the story is, and it's kind of just open to interpretation.
The locations and characters, basically the locations we're going to use are public bus, when he's, well, we'll find out what the plot is, but public bus, a river, a bedroom and a forest. It's because it's going to be quite outgoing, because that's the plot of the film. Obviously we haven't got to that yet, but we'll find that out. They're going to be ordinary, everyday locations, so they're going to be quite easy to film. We can just, in half time we're going to go out for a location recce just to find where we're going to film, which is cool. And this convention for a short film, as the locations are relatable to the audience, allowing them to empathise with the character. So they're not like remote locations that no one goes to, so everyone can relate. Characters, Luke is the main character. He's a typical young man, and you'll find out more about him in the plot, obviously. I don't know why we didn't do that first, but and Luke's dad, maybe. This is all very not completed, but yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, this is a storyline as well. And before I start, like the bit in red at the end, that's like so indefinite that we're not sure if we're going to include that. Like, we can really go like one or two ways. But to be honest, all of it is like subject to change at the minute. Still quite early in development, but we took advice from when we told the rest of the class our idea, and we definitely agreed. And we thought like that having the opening shots in college in like a classroom was not only impractical, but it was also not as effective as what we thought of here, which was just to have him by a river. And we actually came up with quite a few shots that we thought would work really well, and I think we're quite eager to get on with those and like get those done.
One of the shots that we were going to use, that we thought of as it's written there, is a point of view shot from the ashes going down the river, so you actually see him drifting away from Luke, the main character, and how he's actually lost his dad. But obviously you won't know that his dad's died because it won't be explained until later on in the film.
Yeah, and then to be honest, we've just kind of kept a lot of it quite basic at the moment, just because there's a lot of playing around to still do. But it just goes that he gets a text from his mum who will come into play later on, and that it just like that shows his lack of connection with his parents. Still going with the idea of a photo journal, but again, that could easily change to like a bucket list or something. I think you might have suggested that, Zoe. But yeah, so he opens it up, it's found on his bed. Obviously I think through the text and through this like unexplained parcel and the ashes, like at this point the audience will probably be able to piece together that this kid's dad's died. Wraps it up in the parcel on his bed and then realises it, and then we're not exactly sure how we're going to show this to the audience, but we're going to have some way of showing that he becomes really determined and motivated to like complete this thing for his father. And then, like, anyway, we show that, and he skips college and like kind of just lets himself go and just leaves everything behind really. And we're thinking of like putting in a montage at some point, maybe just to show that. I think that might go quite well. Almost becomes native and just goes around taking photos and exploring and doing these things, throws his phone away, kind of loses care and just focuses on what's important to him at the minute. And this is where we kind of come to a crossroads where we're not really sure what we're doing, because our original idea, as it says in red, was like he wakes up and it's okay and his dad's like still alive and it's the moral of the story is kind of you, whatever. But then our alternative idea, what was that, Max?
I don't know, we had an alternative idea that either we could do a bucket list, or in the back of the journal when he finishes it that he didn't see before, is that his dad's actually telling him to go out and make his own journal rather than following in his footsteps. So like, go out and be yourself and stop following what he was previously trying to complete. That's the storyline. Style and form. We're going for a non-dialogue driven short film, except for the ending, where we think if he does wake up in his bed and it's all a dream, that his dad will just walk in the room and tell him that, oh, he's got to go to college or something. We researched a short film that I used over the summer called Stop. That's non-dialogue driven, and we feel like by having more focus on sound and action, that the audience are able to like focus solely on what he's doing and what his purpose is in the film. We're going to use colour correction throughout to depict mood and show the contrast between the whole film and the ending. So like whether it's like all a dream and when it comes back to reality. But that's all like a work in progress. This is all very rushed.
These are some of the tagline ideas we have. Again, we had like trouble with taglines just because they all seemed really like hilarious almost, but
Hence the cheese. 'Cause we thought they were
but anyway, yeah, we've got two to choose from, but then again, the chances of those actually being our tagline are quite small probably.
We didn't really prioritise the tagline over the rest of the film currently. So
Yeah.
we sort of made that quite vague. For our contingency plan, because we thought our main film idea was quite simple, so if there wasn't really anything that could go wrong unless like we didn't find a proper location or if we missed the bus or something easy as that, we would do like a simple horror film, like where you're sitting at home, you're on your computer and something like dark shadow comes out the corner, he turns around, it's not there, all that malarkey.
Oh, sorry. There's a good horror film you ought to watch like that, short horror film called Do You Want to Know How You're Going to Die? Similar.
We'll look at that. That's
Because
cool.
we actually got the inspiration from that from a short film called Alexia, which,
Which really good.
which was quite good for film.
Yeah, the cost as well, like the locations we plan to keep like fairly local, and if we need to get somewhere, obviously needs transport, hopefully we can get there on bus, and I think we'll be able to get past that okay, and if worst case scenario like the actors need to get somewhere, we'd definitely have to sort that, whether it's paying someone for a lift or something like that. It's not that impractical. Printing images and everything, that is more like time costly rather than money. I think that's our biggest worry there. Again, the like clothes or the costume or whatever just be fairly mundane, so not really much expense has to go into that. And then we're hoping that the equipment that we'll need for filming can all be provided by the college as well.